Aloha! Welcome to Tiki Pizza. This is a channel where I combine my love of pizza and tiki culture. I'm Chappie and this is Mookie. Today we're going to do a recipe from the pizza diet. This guy claims he lost 100 pounds eating pizza. Basically, the gist of it is he uses stone ground milled flour. It's healthier, and we're going to do a recipe right out of his book. All right, today we're doing the dough from the pizza diet. He says, for my pizza, I use a stone milled flour that is more nutritious because the grain is ground between two heavy stones. It's less processed and contains some germ and bran. The dough makes the pizza crust lighter and more flavorful. The special flour needs fermentation for a long time so the yeast can make the dough rise and the gluten can adequately be broken down. It is certainly a more expensive and time-consuming process, but it's worth the effort because the result will help you lose weight. All right, so I'll put the pizza dough recipe in the description. All right, so we're gonna do a dough recipe from the pizza diet. The gist of the pizza diet is this guy, Pasquale Cozzolino, lost 100 pounds and he did it by eating pizza for lunch, Mediterranean diet at night, and little bit of exercise. And when I say a little bit, he walked 25 minutes a day and he lost 100 pounds. Now, the key to the pizza for lunch is he only uses stone ground flour. It's way more healthy and less processed. So today I'm going to do some pizza dough from the pizza diet. And this is how, he says, this is how I lost 100 pounds eating my favorite foods, and you can too. So in his book, he has the dough recipe, but the dough recipe is for a big batch. His recipe, you can make 11, 12-inch pizzas. So I'm going to scale it down. So the original recipe calls for 37 ounces of cold water and 3.65 pounds of stone ground flour. That's 3.65 pounds. So I'm just going to scale it down to make 1 8-ounce ball. So basically in his recipe, the 37 ounces of cold water and 3.65 pounds of stone ground flour works out to a hydration rate of 63. Now, the hydration rate is just the ratio or percentage of flour to water. And it's important in pizza dough making to know your hydration rate because it affects the type of pizza crust you get. So if I were to scale it down, I'm just going to do, I'm still going to do the 63%, but I'm going to use 189 milliliters of water. And then to get 63%, I'm going to need 300 grams of stone ground flour. And then this is because it's a pizza diet, because it's a diet pizza, there's no oil or sugar. There is sea salt and yeast. But the yeast goes into cold water because there's a long fermentation process in this pizza dough recipe. So just gonna add, that's again 189 milliliters of water, or I measured it off in grams, still 189 grams of water. just gonna go get a little bit of yeast. Okay. I'm just gonna use like an equivalent of a packet of yeast. We'll add the salt at the end. And now I'm going to measure off 300 grams of flour. So just reset it with the bowl or the cup on there. And again, that's going to be 300 grams. And it's important to weigh everything, especially with flour, because flour can get packed down and then it's just not going to be accurate at all. That is pretty good. We got 300 grams of flour. Now the next step, I'm just going to stir up the yeast in there. We're going to add 20% of that 300 grams to the water to make a slurry. I'm not going to measure the 20%. We're just going to go for a slurry here. Okay, we got a nice slurry. And I'm just going to read off the next steps. So we added the 20% of the flour and mix. It says mix with your hands until a creamy slurry forms, and then add the salt and remaining flour. And it says mix by hand or use a stand mixer until soft elastic dough has formed. And then we're going to knead for 5 minutes, and then we cover with a plastic wrap and allow the dough to rest at room temperature for 20 minutes. And then this is the big batch recipe. We're going to cut the balls into 8 ounces. I'll probably get like 2 8-ounce balls out of here. And then seal in an airtight container and let rest for 4 to 5 hours at room temperature. And then move to the refrigerator and let rise for another 20 hours. You can let it rise longer, but no longer than 48 hours. You can actually freeze the dough for up to 6 months. So I'm going to do those steps, and then we'll come back and make our pizza. I'll see you in a couple days. Thanks for watching another episode of Tiki Pizza. I'm Chappie and this is Mookie. Make sure you hit that notification bell. What's that, Mookie? Mookie says, nobody moves, nobody gets hurt. See you next time on Tiki Pizza.